So why, in spite of all its best efforts, did the new Nigeria People's Party, or NNPP, fail so spectacularly to win significant ground in both the presidential and the governorship elections? Well, according to the NNPP's presidential candidate, Rabiu Kwankwaso, the party didn't win because the NNPP logo was not visible enough for the voters to identify it. Mr. Kwankwaso said that the print and representation of the party on the ballot paper by the Electoral Commission INEC was so poor that that in itself constituted enough grounds for the NNPP to demand the outright cancellation of the entire ballot. So why is the NNPP deciding to not challenge the polls? Could it be that the fault lies in its own design of its logo rather than with INEC? Or is there some other reason? With more on this, I'm joined now in the studio by the NNPP chieftain and member of the party's board of trustees, Buba Galadima. Thank you very much indeed.
Thank you very much,
The way
Mr.
you're
Chess.
looking at me worries me a little. Anyway, how are you? How nice to see you.
We are okay.
So what went wrong?
Well, several things. First, I would like to thank God for having enabled us to seize those days of the elections and to educate Nigerians on the position of God in the affairs of man and in the affairs of country. Even if there is nothing, those who thought that religion, ethnicity, or where you come from will determine your fortune in an election have been disappointed down to the ground. And I would want to say,
Does that include your candidate?
our candidate, Senator Rabiu Musa Kwankwaso, is the only candidate of all the 18 candidates that campaigned on the basis of merit, on the basis of his performance while in public office, on the basis of his integrity, and on the basis of I will do this because I had a record of having done a sample.
Well, that's a disputable claim. Not that he didn't do those things, but that he's the only one who did it.
He was the only one. What can you tell me has any one of them done while in public office,
well,
except looting?
Yeah. Anyway, let's not get into that because that will become a distraction.
It's okay. It's
what
okay.
I would like you to tell us is what went wrong in this election for the NNPP, both in the governorship and in the presidential.
Several things went wrong. First, we were fought to the ground by Emelekon, those who campaigned on the basis of it is our turn. We were campaigned to the ground on the basis of Namunakane, that promoted by those that had funds. We were defeated. We were fought to the ground by those who campaigned on the basis of tribe and religion, because we did not base our campaign on the basis of any primordial sentiment. We are the only Nigerians that had campaigned on the basis of what we had done and what we are going to do. And you can never take away that from us. And we are the winners of this election, whether you like it or not. First, having fought APC, PDP, Labour Party, and the press, who never acknowledged that we would do better and tried to neglect us and not promote us. We were fought by the clergy and the mullahs all over the country. We were fought by big men. We were denied funding as others had surplus amount of funds to play with. We never had a penny. In fact, the only thing I could remember was one gentleman who gave us 5 million naira. It's the only one I could remember in this election. Everything we did is on the basis of politics of principles. But you should know that Buhari has destroyed the government, the politics of principles, because he did not do what one would call politics of reward. Those who had worked for him never received any reward. Therefore, Nigerians decided that money for hand, back for ground. And we hadn't the money to buy Charles and other people.
Well, you couldn't afford me if you tried.
No, I'm just semantics.
Yeah, I understand what you mean.
So
we don't take money anyway. So
that doesn't
arise.
I didn't say you are taking money. That's not what I mean. I'm just giving an example.
Yeah.
So it is this that has destroyed the fabrics of Nigerian politics. And I wonder, I wish me at my age will ever live to see a clean election. Don't forget that INEC, from the word go, Professor Mahmoud Yakubu made NNPP his arch enemy, maybe on the directives of some of his masters. First, when we were uploading our candidates into the portal, 3 days to the closure, he blocked the NNPP. And 1/3 of our candidates, because elections, political campaigning and electioneering is based on the structures you have on ground. And candidates are part of the structure. So he blocked us. 1/3 of our candidates or more, 40%, were not uploaded. We took him to court. The High Court gave us judgment. He refused to respect that judgment. He appealed to this appeal court. The appeal court rebuked him and gave us judgment. He refused. He went ahead to Supreme Court, therefore denying us the opportunity for our candidates to be known. And when he came to present our logo, I want to ask, did you vote? Did you?
Well, that's personal.
Did you? No, I'm not asking to whom you voted for.
No.
Did you vote?
Never mind that. I mean,
have you seen the ballot paper?
Yes, I saw the ballot paper.
Have you seen word NNPP on the ballot paper?
Well, I don't remember, to be honest.
Which means you didn't vote, or you didn't vote for us.
Well, yeah, you could make the second argument, but you know, I don't know about the first.
So. Yeah. And our logo was looking like a sheep, was looking like a hat, was looking like a camel, and all the colors that showed NNPP basket of fruits. You can identify the purple, you can identify the pineapple, you can identify orange, you can identify banana. It's not there. The color is not there. In the map of Nigeria, green, white, blue, it's not there. It's not identifiable. So he deliberately defaced us. But the question to ask is, why didn't we go to court? Yeah, or how did we win?
That's exactly what I was going
Kano?
to ask you. Because what I don't understand is that you seem to accept the outcome of this election, and your candidate has been advising the party faithful to prepare for the next election cycle in 2027. So he's not talking about going to court. I would have thought that you would be eager to challenge all this.
I saw Charles, I led the foundation. We didn't steal public funds as the others did. We didn't have tribal or religious donations as others did. We worked on the basis of our performance, and God gave us what we deserve to get. We are thankful to God. Tomorrow would be another day.
You mean Kano?
Of course. Kano is not just only. That is why the APC keeps on saying that Kano is too important to be left in the hands of the opposition. Because as at 2027, Kwankwaso is the political leader of northern Nigeria, or Nigeria as a whole. Well, because he's the only person that is campaigning on the basis of integrity, capacity, and performance while in public office.
Yeah, but the facts don't support what you're saying, do they? I mean,
those who campaign on the basis of religion and tribe, did they succeed?
No. Can I make?
No, I'm coming. Did they succeed? They didn't.
Well, can I make?
Those who campaign on the basis of our turn, so it is their turn now. Tomorrow would it be their turn?
Right. Well, let's look at the figures, okay? At the governorship election. Well, no, the figures are important. That's the only way that we can assess what your claim is. In Jigawa State, for instance, the NNPP candidate Aminu Ibrahim came a distant third with 37,156 votes,
correct.
whilst the winning votes of the APC candidate Umar Namadi was 618,449.
Do you believe in that?
Let me just give you the figures, and then we can talk about it. In Katsina State, the NNPP candidate Noura Khalil got only 8,263 votes, which is almost embarrassingly way behind the APC candidate Diko Rada, who got 859,892 votes. In Kaduna State, the NNPP candidate Suleiman Hunkuyi, who I interviewed on this program, got 21,405 votes, while the APC's Uba Sani won the election with 730,000 votes. In Sokoto State, the NNPP came sixth behind the APC, PDP, APGA, even APGA, NRM and PRP. I mean, your candidate got just 427 votes against the APC, whose candidate got 453,661 votes. I mean, I could go on. Gombe, Adamawa, Bauchi, Yobe, Niger. So aside from Kano, you only came second in Taraba State. How do you account for that?
Thank you very much. Try to clap with your one hand.
No,
so
seriously,
just clap with your one hand. I will help you explain. If you can clap. Now I'm clapping with the two hands.
We're doing a post-mortem.
We are doing, of course now.
So we want to understand what went wrong.
Can you clap with your one hand? Can you?
It might be difficult.
Thank you very much. So NNPP candidates in those states have tried beyond imagination because there wasn't a level playing ground. First, they don't exist on the ballot. So how could you have voted for them?
Well, I don't have any evidence to support that.
Is there anybody that will tell me he has seen the word NNPP on any ballot? So casted? I want the person to raise his hand.
Yeah, but what is the nature of the ballots? Do names appear or do...
Of course, names and symbol clearly. Yeah. Take Labour Party.
So you're saying that your name did not appear at all?
Yes, our name did not appear. Our logo did not appear. So how do you expect us to compete?
Well, as I said, I don't have the evidence
and
of
we
that.
don't
So
have, we didn't steal public money
yeah.
additionally. And let me listen to you. INEC allocated votes. Let Professor Mahmoud Yakubu come and face me in a debate before you. Did he conduct election according to the rules, guidelines, and the Electoral Act?
You see,
did the beavers walk?
Well, a lot of people would agree with what you're saying, but the issue here is that the margin of defeat for the NNPP
we were not defeated now.
It's so large that you can't actually make an argument.
Kwankwaso and NNPP still remains the party to beat on a level playing ground.
I'm afraid there's no way that we can...
Let me tell you something you will not believe.
We can support
Let me tell you something you will not believe, Charles. Let the world hear me. Do you know that in the last 20 years, the police force has never played a fairly neutral role as they have done during this election? They are not my friends, but I commend the Inspector General of Police for displaying a fair neutrality. I'm not saying absolute. There would be bad eggs elsewhere, but they had done marvelously well. And I want to commend the military, the Air Force, the Navy, and the Army, and particularly single out the Chief of Army Staff, who stood his grounds that despite push and push from his colleagues, his predecessors, former Chiefs of Army Staff, who are carrying some governors to his house and forcing him to change electoral fortunes of certain states, he resisted that one and played a neutral role by providing security to this election. Most services. And the dangerous thing that has showed up in this election are the role of the religious leaders. Thank God they were put in their proper place, that they don't matter in these elections. That the security who hitherto were being used to deal with other opponents have played a fairly neutral role.
Right. So,
what had happened in this election is vote buying, use of money, because we are the only poor party in this election. You know that Peter Obi has got a bank and he has no problem of, just hold it.
I'm listening, of course.
Has no problem of getting cash. Tinubu has a lot of interests in banks, and he has governments under his control that could take money from every bank that they needed where they have accounts. Atiku has got personal fortunes and has got governments from where he can access funds. It is only Senator Rabi Musa Kwankwaso that went to this election without penny.
Yeah, but
and came up, and nobody in Nigeria could do 1% of what he has done. Take a political party, within 8 months, it became an issue and a party to beat.
Well, the Labour Party would make the same arguments. I mean,
because you are not in Nigeria, so you don't know the history of Labour Party. I thought you forgot that Labour Party had a government under Mimiko.
Yeah, I understand.
We didn't have a single councillor.
Yes,
we didn't have a single council chairman. We didn't have a single House of Assembly member. We didn't have a rep. We didn't have a senator. We didn't have a governor. Yeah. And yet we did this. And as of today,
well, you won one governorship. I mean,
no, we didn't win one. You know, because you don't know the record. We even won Taraba. It was taken by force from us.
Well, you know, that's neither here nor there. And I am not disputing some of the claims that you're making, because I don't have the evidence to dispute that. A lot of people have made claims, and people are in courts disputing some of the results of the elections. My concern is that you're not in court, because the Labour Party is disputing the elections.
Yes.
The PDP is disputing the elections. They're as vociferous as you are in saying that things went awry, and they've gone to court to try and challenge those results, but you haven't gone to court.
You see, that's
why I'm curious.
This is the difference between the NNPP and those other parties. You know, we told you they are vultures.
No, so you roll
I'm
over.
coming now. I'm coming now. Let me make my point,
Sure, go ahead.
If you are interested in becoming politician, the NNPP will reserve the gubernatorial ticket of his slot in 2027 for you in your state.
Well, I'm not interested in becoming a politician.
So if you're not interested,
thank you very much indeed for the offer.
Just be a journalist and listen to me.
That's it. Okay, I'll listen to you. Go ahead.
What was your question?
No. What I'm saying is that why have you not gone to court?
Thank you.
In the face of all these things that you dispute.
You are right. Thank you. You know, we use our head.
Yeah.
Me and Kwankwaso sit down and look at issues and profile solutions. If we go to court and we succeed, whose benefit? Would it benefit us?
Well, you answer
as a party?
You answer the question.
The question is no. Because as far as we are concerned, both the APC, the PDP, and the Labour Party are birds of the same feather. None of them can be claimed to be good. And once we go to court and succeed, some of the parties may likely emerge in another election to make sure that they win election and set Nigeria 100 years back. That we wouldn't want to see.
Right.
So let Nigerians know our reason. We reason for whatever we do.
Okay.
In 2027, none of them.
I understand what you're saying.
Thank you very much.
So what's the way forward for the NNPP now? Where do things go from here?
Now, we've observed our weaknesses and our strengths. And let me tell you our weakness. I can say it in the public space. Our first problem is that we have a new and weak political structure to carry the weight of a presidential election in 8 months. 2, we had weak candidates that don't have the war chest, and ideology had been thrown to the background because people are doing money for hand, back for ground. So we didn't stand a chance in that respect. We also observed that as a political party, we need to have a vehicle through which we will ride to the next destination. And we also observe that all this, the APC will soon fight among themselves. The vice president is going to be sidelined. There will be a cabal because the president will not be strong enough, so people will rule on his behalf. The PDP will disintegrate. The ABGA has reached, I mean, the Labour Party has reached its peak. Like Andrew's liver salt, they will come down, they will never grow. We are the party of the future. So it is for us to exercise some patience and do a more diligent, hard work to prepare the ground, to prepare the structure, and attract credible, resourceful candidates like Chief Charles Anyagolu to run to carry our flag.
Well, I appreciate your vote of confidence there, but I am not the least bit interested in politics. But just before we
will
go,
drag you.
What are your thoughts? Because your thoughts are very seminal and very important. What are your thoughts on this whole DSS issue of an interim government and the threat of it?
Well, I think the DSS is not up to their. They don't harvest intelligence. If they do, and if they are intelligent as we thought they should be, they should have uncovered this 1 year ago. Because some of the parties did not go into election to win. They went into election to scuttle the election, such that there would be interim government. And there are very strong proponents of interim government across the country. For example,
but you're not one of them, or your party.
When we are looking at the future to take over and put Nigeria on a road to growth, why should we follow those ones? All the parties wanted us to join them in the fight so that we scuttle democracy. It is not in our interest. It's not in the interest of the country. It is not in the interest of the people. Therefore, we decline to align with anybody. We are independent group of people. The DSS is too late in unearthing this. It has been on the ground for a long time.
Okay.
And some of them are even playing to it.
Okay. On that sober note, I want to thank you very much indeed. Don't say it, because I know what you're going to say. I want to thank you very much. It's always an enormous pleasure talking with you. Buba Galadima is an NNPP chieftain and member of the party's board of trustees. Thank you very much for honoring us with your presence.
Thank you, Charles.
Just
please find me 1 hour one day so that we dissect this country
and
dissect its politics.
I will keep it in mind. Thank you very much indeed, Mr. Galadima.
Thank you, sir.